Mug Shaman definitely still feels pretty strong after the latest patch came through, and the nerf really didn't change all that much to it, albeit the meta definitely kinda slowed down, so that also is kinda not as amazing for a deck like this, but still, you should still be able to be climbing to easy legend with it. So in this video I'm gonna give you a quick updated guide about it, talk about mulligans, win rates, and general tips so you guys have a better idea of what you could be doing with and against it. So if you find the video helpful, a like and subscribe would be appreciated, and don't forget to check me out live on stream each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. But now, let's check out the deck.
You are not prepared!
Here's the list I used. It's pretty balanced. There are a few questionable inclusions, like a couple of voltaic bursts, which are a little bit on the iffy side, not gonna lie. We have a single copy of Hex in here, and we don't have any lightning storms or anything like that in here. Also, a single copy of Ascendance, which, again, if you want to be adding a second one, maybe cut one voltaic, that's for sure. The deck is still pretty strong. The only thing that got changed to it is removing the discount from Blazing Invocation, which, to be fair, does remove one of the biggest things you could be doing on turn 1, which would be literally to play a 3 or a 4 drop as soon as turn 1, which is kinda insane, but the deck still is gonna be functioning pretty much the same as always. You're still gonna be able to discover yourself all sorts of different cool minions out of Blazing Invocation, out of Mountain Map, out of your low security wing. You could be getting yourself some gems, and you can also discover yourself extra cards that discover stuff with Sands of Time, with which you can definitely cheat out some bigger, better men. Your elemental spells that turn into actual elementals are also still pretty good, with things like Molten Gold, Frost Shatter, and Storm Fury. You are going to be able to overwhelm the opponent with a lot more stats than you're supposed to. All you gotta do is just cast a few spells, and that usually is going to do the trick for you to be dropping these a lot sooner than you have to. If you manage to stick a few of those, going with Ascendance is going to be absolutely game breaking for a lot of opponents, and they will not be able to handle you. And you can also buff your board with things like Fire Breath. Because you do have plenty of elementals, you usually cheat out reasonably early. Going through the deck, we have a couple of Static Shocks, which is basically a 0 mana spell for you to be activating your other elementals. The Blazing Invocation is going to help you big time discovering yourself good battle cry minions nice and early. The low security wing is going to be giving you extra stuff to be doing. All you got to do is just play another card from your hand so you can actually unlock what you get out of it. The Mountain Map is going to be giving you some pretty good minions. Just don't forget you want to be picking something you can actually play this turn if you want to be discovering a second time from the same pool. The Sands of Time gives you a lot of extra good stuff, and it's a great way to actually get yourself extra spells to be casting for the elementals to witness, and usually you are going to be going for the Shaman spells, so first time is usually a rewind. With Voltaic Burst you could be pretty reactive, but the overload aspect of it definitely is not gonna be very fun for you, but it does definitely work pretty well with things like Ritual of Power, so there's that. The Ritual of Power is pretty good because it basically is a 2 mana 1/2 with a 2/1 next to it, because you get to play a 0 mana 1/1. If you haven't played a minion that turn, the Thunderquake gives you a good amount of AoE and another Static Shock with which you get to be loading up your elemental minions. The Fire Breath is gonna be great. It's a little bit of extra reach damage and also can be quite devastating if the opponent did not handle something like an early elemental board from you. Single copy of Hex, you can handle some nasty Death Rattle minions or eggs or whatever. Could definitely help big time, but if you don't see anything too hexable in your meta, maybe you can swap it out for something else. The Molten Gold is pretty good because it's basically going to turn into a 1 mana 3/3 that deals 4 damage, and you could be clearing the opponent's board, your opponent's face, that kind of stuff. Ascendance can be pretty game breaking, but sometimes it could also just sit there menacingly and do nothing. For this thing to be good, you need to be sticking at least a couple of decent minions. And don't forget, you could actually be using this proactively to actually save something you've value traded with. Like, let's say you have something like a 5/5, you trade into a 4 attack minion, you get yourself a 5/1. After that, you get the Ascendance, and once the minion that got transformed into something bigger, once the bigger thing dies, you actually get a fully healed minion back, so that can be huge, but also it works both ways. If you actually have a buffed board, let's say something with double Fire Breath, it's not going to come back with the +2/+2, it's going to be coming back vanilla. The Tiny Palace is pretty amazing. You get to be freezing the opponent's stuff with it, get yourself some random battle cry minions. The 1 damage AoE that also goes face can be good, and you could also just use it for a random taunt minion if the going gets tough. The Frost Shatter is amazing, basically a 3 mana draw 2, freeze an enemy, and also get yourself a 5/5 on the board, could be pretty good. Mug Z is basically just in here for the effect, but he's not the worst minion in the world. Like, with your effect, you are basically having yourself a 4-mana 6/7, so not the worst indeed. The Storm Fury is going to be a great way to keep yourself alive. It deals a lot of damage for the opponent's board and also heals you by a lot, and the fact it's a 5-mana 7/7 also ain't no joke. And lastly, with Muradin's Last Stand, you are going to get yourself quite a lot of extra card draw, especially thanks to all of the rush you have in the deck. This thing usually is going to be 0 pretty quickly. Matchup-wise, here's what we have. Of course, this is not updated stats right after the patch, but it still gives you a general good idea of how broken this deck really is. You literally don't have a single bad matchup from before. After a patch, probably not much is going to be changing, but still gives you a pretty good idea of how good or bad some matchups can be, and most of them are just going to be very, very good. When it comes down to the mulligan, going first, here's what it's going to go like. You are going to be looking for the Invocation, for the Mountain Map, for the low security wing, basically a way to actually start cheating out big men a lot sooner than you're supposed to. Ritual of Power can be great. Molten Gold going first is not as good. Going second, definitely. Same can be said for Frost Shatter, but you can definitely consider keeping both of these if you already have yourself some good early game spells. The rest of the stuff not that amazing, even though going second things could be looking a little bit different. For instance, here it's something like the 7-mana Storm Fury could be a lot more tempting. You're already on the coin, so that's an extra cheap spell, and you could be doing something like a turn 4 7/7 against something like a Face Hunter. This can be absolutely huge, but for the most part, the rest is kind of the same deal. The weapon definitely a lot more sought after here. All around, that's it for the deck. Not much really changed, but still definitely worth knowing how to play with and against this deck. So I hope you found the guide helpful, and if you did, you know what to do. But now let's check out some of my games on my road back to top 1000 Legend with it. Hope you enjoy. Another hunter. Let's roll the whole thing, I guess. This might be troublesome. Not getting any of the good cards, that's kind of a problem. Two of these witnessing at least, it's something. Bro, what the fuck is this turn 2, man? You fucking kidding me? Bruh. Bro, are you fucking for real right now? Let's try and get the coin out of 7/7. Turn 4 7/7. Be a lot cooler if it's not against a couple of 5-drop beasts though. Alrighty then. It gives me a lot of healing. Take those. Perfection. Dude doesn't look too happy, huh? How about two of them? This hunter is also definitely having one of the games ever. He had that last turn, he didn't play it, what the fuck? Miss me with that shit? Bro. Yeah, so dumb. Didn't attack with the weapon, but it's actually not that bad for him because he wants it closer to being ready for whatever. Keep that. Can do this next turn, I think. But yeah, confronted 12 years tracks again, didn't it? He's gonna regret that, innit? I'm a dreamer. I think I can do better. Bruh. This game. This game, chat. I don't think so, eh, bro? I think it should still be pretty decent. Yeah, I can barely contain myself. How the fuck are we floating this much mana, dude? Well, this is potentially lethal. There you go. Ass pounding. His words, not mine, I think. We were passing left and right and center. Against the dick. We got the good cards, yeah. Should I still go with security on one? Gonna allow me to get more stuff out of it faster. Feels kind of silly, but not the worst. Not the best either, though. Borderline usable. Yeah, one cost Shaman. Yeah, that's exactly what my deck is costing. Yeah, it looks like triple unholy in it. It's not bad. So we can get a good chunk of elemental stuff. Alrighty then. That ain't too bad to witness. That's actually kind of cool. Next turn, the 4/5's on the way, which is not super cash money for me. Let's go like this. Herald Shaman, am I right? This is what we're listening to currently. A bit disgusting, and next turn he's that double molten gold. Oof, it's a lot of healing. And yet we smile. Still feels kind of broken, not gonna lie. Against fellow Shaman. Oh no, the secret is out, guys. We're going first, which in this case might not be that cash money. Okay, good. Still rather have Invocation here. That's decent. Next turn I'm gonna have 1 mana, so this is not gonna be playable, but still, it's the way to go. Next turn maybe we do this. Not really. It's gonna be this. Good old turn 1 3/4. Our breath might end up being important. Yeah. Of the full life. Got a bit desperate, didn't he? Should I play this? I'd rather save that spell. Or some other spell witnessing minions. One damage AoE is there, yeah. Kinda. Not very happy about that. Let's turn this into that if the board is full, that'd be great. Or mana 7/7 also might make sense. Oh man. At least the board should remain decent. Not so decent. I think I should still do it in it. Alternatively, I could go this and that though. I think that's the play. That's insane. Insane. Yeah, kind of feels like that. Not a huge fan of this. Kind of alright. It's a lot of extra gas. A lot of gases for the masses. Fuck. Ugh, come on, dude. It feels like the way to go, even though it feels kind of fucked. This thing coming back full health is super dumb. Feels kind of criminal. Dude, definitely high rolled big time without ascendance. We're definitely on the back foot now. Not enough spells to really activate shit. Bruh. We are screwed. Dude is getting some of that good kush. Might as well see what's in here. Not the worst. Bruh. Things are fucked. I think it should be still playable, Kieran. You can give it a try. If you've played it before the patch, might as well give it another try. Shouldn't be that much worse. Buys me a little bit of time, but not much else. Nah, I'm just postponing the inevitable at this point. Couldn't do it. First mage of my life. Those are rare. Of course you can't, Tommy. What do you mean you just noticed that? That has always been an option. Aveli, in a situation like this, do you drop the low security wing first or mountain map? The greedy bastard in me says low security, but doing things quick with mountain map probably is better in it. I don't know, I think I'd go with security. I haven't cast a nature spell for it, so it's not gonna be that amazing like that. I'd rather hold up. Okay, that's a nature spell. Let's do that then. Sounds a boo-ray. That's a counter spell, that'd be a damn shame. It ain't. Could I be happy with Confronted Tovir? Nah. Why the fuck did I pick that? The others were the duck and what was the other one? Nothing too crazy, right? That was the good choice for a couple of turns, but until then... That'd be great for next turn, why not? That was a very quick deja vu. And now we know why. We can stick these, transforming them into bigger, better minions could be great. Or we could just get ourselves a ton of damage out of this. This quest is ready. Holding on to deja vu for something like this definitely does not sound like a bright idea, I can tell you that much. Okay, that's a cards. That is almost lethal, mind you. For the sake of just playing something, I guess. Maybe the Crazy Alchemist wasn't a bad idea though. He could get some crazy taunt right now. Tries his luck with a Crazy Beast. 2-shot. Think we got him. You know. Yeah, deck's still kind of busting in it. Deck is still definitely like it's there. Feels like it.